If the 13 states of the United States of America was established on July 4th, 1776, but President George Washington, for whom is the first president of the United States of America, wasn't elected until 1789, which says he was the first presidential election, which was the first presidential election, and George Washington was unanimously elected president of the United States with 69 electoral votes. Now, if in my beginning of my presidency of Four Castles Incorporated, I had to go up against 50 states and territories because the state of Florida, which is the place where I originated and was born, denied me of my constitutional rights, then why wouldn't my history be the same as America's history? So if in 1789, the first presidential election, George Washington was unanimously elected president of the United States, but at the time, it wasn't the United States as it is today. It was only 13 states that was once 13 colonies. Now, what was who was the leader for the roughly 12 years before you elected George Washington the president? Because we all know that we celebrate our independence on July 4th every year, and it came into effect on July 4th, 1776. So who was the president before, or who was the leader before you unanimously elected George Washington to be the first president? Now, it says Washington won the support of each participating elector. No other president should or since has come into office with a universal mandate to lead. Now, when I was in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, I had a mandate to lead by the United States of America, for whom gave me an oath when I was 18 years old to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So when I saw well, it wasn't nothing to see when my rights was being denied, then I had to defend the rights of my country. Now, just like George Washington, his country was still America, or the 13 colonies. The land itself was his home. But when he won his independence from the king, the land under his feet changed its name. It went from 13 colonies to these United States. But in its infancy stage, as I say, it was only 13 states, as I'm fit to show you in the history of this, right? And I get this out of, George Washington's, this MountVernon.org, and I went there, and this is why I went to Mount Vernon. I went to his home. I paid $15 to go and get this information and the history about him, and seeing all that beautiful land that he had. And I mean, he walk out his back door, man, ain't nothing but water out there. See, but now my friends want to take my land based on them being property. So now they done took my property after we supposed to be free, but I done had to emancipate myself from the country that I was born in, just like George Washington. See, I'm saying there's no difference between my history and George Washington's history, other than I had to go into court and defend my history. See, he went to war because that was his time. It was where he had to physically get an army together and go to war. See, me, I had to live a life that I could defend. See, that because this is the time I live in. So I have to say anything you say can and will be used against you as you would me. Because if I have to be as wise as the serpent, then I have to use the law the right way to show that the serpent is not using the law at all. They are incriminating the law. See, that's why slaves get mad at the law, but you don't get mad at your enslaver. See, your enslaver is lying on to you and using the law to punish you when you violate the law. See, but if you was a man or woman of God, then you would understand that you're dealing with a serpent, and now it's time for you to use the law in self-defense. Because how can your God judge the devil like the devil judge you, or Satan, or the dragon, that old serpent for whom is the dragon, the devil and Satan, if you don't give your God the law? So then John 1 that says that in the beginning was the Word, see, that can never happen if you don't move out the way and put the law in the situation. See, because the serpent is taking the law out of the situation, and I had to put the law in the situation. But now those who the serpent has damaged with the law is now damaging me because they don't believe in the law. But I'm saying, well, history shows that you believe in nothing if you don't believe in the truth. So now, when do you reap what you sow? See, if you teach it, when do you judge yourself to what you teach? So now, if it says between December 15th, now this is what I'm saying. See how George Washington's history has a stamp time. Remember when I was, well, see, this is what I'm saying about a stamp time. This is where I'm showing you all when I tell you about when I'm in court, I'm saying this is the time stamp. Yeah, that's what it is, time stamp. See, so when you go to a job, and you clock in, see, a time stamp is a device used for recording the date and time of day or on a document, envelope, or elect as to indicate when it was received or sent out. So see, my time stamp is August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning. That's when the Florida Constitution and the United States Constitution elected me. Now, let me show you what I'm saying. Okay, between December 15, 1788 and January 10th, 1789, the presidential electors were chosen in each of the states. On February 4th, 1789, see how, now why when I give my dates, my friends say I'm crazy. But I'm saying, man, this is my history that you that you just done took and telling me I'm crazy. And I'm saying, brother, I'm in the courthouse and on this date, here's the evidence. Here on August 4th, I said this. On August 6th, and they looking at me like I'm crazy. And I'm saying, well, man, this is my history. But I had to record it. But other people recorded George Washington. See, he had scribes. But now that I come from a ancestry that the same country that was once in property of King George, now this is their history, has denied my ancestors the right to read and write, but gave them a Bible that says my people will be destroyed for lack of knowledge. But now you denied my people the right to read and write. Now I got to be my own scribe in a crime being committed against me. I got to know the Constitution, what amendments, what sections, and now the leaders of my race who don't believe in the law has now took my time stamps and discarded them, but telling us about Jesus with no time stamps. We don't have no dates, no times, and that we just got to believe the story. But now, look at George Washington. See, between December 15, 1788 and January 10, 1789, the presidential election was chosen in each of the states. On February 4th, 1789, the Electoral College convened. 10 states, 10 states. See, now I got to go through 50 states and territories. So I had to go through court. See, just like he had to go through a revolutionary war to get elected unanimously, I had to go through court proceedings where my life was on the line, and I had to come out unanimously elected by the Florida Constitution, the United States Constitution, the Florida Bill of Rights, the United States Bill of Rights, statutory law, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Ten Commandments, the Holy Bible, and the Holy Quran I had to use in self-defense. And to this day, on September 11th in 2023, at 7:59 at night, I am still denied of my basic rights to this day. Now, but I have dates and times, just like President George Washington have dates and times. But now this is where I'm telling you this, right? 10 states cast electoral votes: Connecticut, Delaware, Georgia, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, and Virginia. New York, however, failed to fill a slate of electors. North Carolina and Rhode Island were unable to participate because they had not yet ratified the Constitution. After quorums was finally established, the Congress counted and certified the electoral vote counted on April 6. Washington was both an obvious first choice for president and possibly the only true viable choice. He was both a national hero and the favorite son of Virginia, the largest state at that time. See, now, I'm not a favorite son of the state I was born in. My state took my rights. The state, so now see, George Washington was the hero of his state. I'm the villain in mine, and I'm the one fighting for the Florida Constitution in court. And these people done robbed me and went on with their life. It's like when Moses was in the wilderness with the Israelites and they looked back and saw Pharaoh. That's what my friends and family was telling me. Like, man, we ain't finna die for you. Man, we ain't fit. I'm saying, brother, why you gotta die? Cause I'm telling the truth. Why your mindset is we gotta die? I'm saying, why? If I went to court, why I gotta die? If my truth is supposed to set me free in your spiritual world, and if the United States Constitution states that I have a right to due process, why would a man or one man who is a clergy person, whether it be a clergy man or a clergy woman, tell a man or woman or child to forfeit their own truth for what you believe? And you are a person of God. You are a righteous person. Like you are telling me to give up on my birthright. So if I was born with my truth that was written on my covenant, well, once the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, attacked me, right? Like he did in Revelations 12. Let me get to it here. Revelations 12. Because this, like I say, that's one of my favorite, that is my favorite scripture there. Man, this thing here be tripping. See, this is what I'm saying, man. Okay, Revelations 12. Now, this is the war in heaven. This is the King James Version and it's the Biblical Hub edition of what happened to me, right? The evil spirit broke out a war in my heaven. And then they revealed me to be my God, and then I was rejected. See, I'm saying, like, man, they didn't see none of the crime that was committed against me. They just judged me. And I'm saying, well, what about this person? Oh, well, I ain't worried about them. I'm saying, well, they the one committing the crime. You not worrying about the criminal, you worrying about the victim reporting the crime. And now I have 15 years of my life been wasted, man. And they said that I gave up on life. And I'm still here getting smarter and smarter and smarter, and not begging for my life, but giving of my knowledge of life. Still saying I'm even learning how to deal with this spiritual attack. I'm going to get the Bible on you. See, I'm saying, well, hey, man, well, when I had this legal battle inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, and I came out victorious on August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, then my friends and family entered into a spiritual war with me. But they said, I ain't did nothing. But for 15 years, and what I'm saying is, what do I win by revealing myself to a poor person? What I win? They don't have no money, so they couldn't. So, like, when I give them Amendment 14, Section 4, that says that, okay, let me, see, I get so excited. Knowledge is something that's really powerful to me. So it seems like I'm all over the place, but I'm really not. You see what I'm saying? I'm right where I need to be because I'm trying to show you something. So now, if I am legally based in my pursuit of my enemy, right? And he, she, them, and they came into my wife and I's Garden of Eden and now have distorted the lesson that I and my wife was teaching to our fruit, which is our daughter and our son, which is our female and male image. So we was growing our garden and then was attacked from the roots. So now, if money was my pursuit of happiness, then my pursuit of happiness would have ended when they took my money. But see, according to your scripture, the love of money would have been the root to where I'm at. And that love would have took me off of my foundation, my legal pursuit. But because my pursuit of happiness was a legal pursuit to happiness, then I saw the opportunity of a lifetime. So then I cited this for my value, right? Now, if a person who is getting tithes to then create a persona or a lifestyle, then they would need money to keep that lifestyle going. See, that's why now at the root of religion is money. See, without tithes, religion cannot pay its bills. But look at love. See, I love my wife. I love my children. I love my grandmother. I love my family. So see, when they took the money then I then kept my pursuit of happiness. It was a legal pursuit. So then I was able to do this to show that my value is priceless as well as divine, because then I used Amendment 14, Section 4 to then establish my presidency. See now, when America started, it was poor. See, it had no currency. It really didn't have no history. It was building on a war. See, so it had no structure, it had no economy, it had nothing. It was building everything just like I had to. See? So, but now, just like England's economy was built off of the 13 colonies, now the United States economy is built off of the robbery of its citizens. See, so it's the same history. It's just now it's in-house robbery, but it was an in-house robbery then. You just had a king robbing you. See, now you have your elected officials who work for you robbing you. So now to when I caught them robbing me, see, the war broke out in heaven, Revelations 12, then I charged them for the financial damages that they caused my family with Amendment 14, Section 4, that says the validity of the public debt. Now, this is killing two birds with one stone. See, I saved the debt of America while I charged the illegal indebtors who indebted America in the name of America. See, they indebted us in our name. See, so then what I did is I defended the name and credit and faith of the United States of America in the name, image, and likeness of my God, because they had a name God without no definition. So I charged them with the validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred for payments of pensions and bounties for services in suppressing insurrection or rebellion shall not be questioned, but neither the United States nor any state shall assume or pay any debt or obligation incurred in aid of insurrection or rebellion against the United States, or any claim for the loss or emancipation of any slave, but all such debts, obligations, and claims shall be held illegal and void. So see, when Revelations 12 came into my home, I used Amendment 14, Section 4 to stabilize my economy as I established my economy in accordance with with religious freedoms. So therefore, this is when I brought the religious leaders into the judgment hall, like they took Jesus of Nazareth, like their ancestors took Jesus of Nazareth of Galilee, for whom is you all now recognize as Jesus Christ, and y'all worship Jesus Christ. See, now I'm taking your religious leaders into the judgment hall where they took Jesus Christ, and I'm saying, now establish yourself as I have established my religion, in accordance with Section 3 of the Florida Constitution, in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida, like I established my religion in my likeness, in the name of my God, in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as inside of the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, as well as on September 11th in 2023 at 8:12 at night, in accordance with Section 3 of the Florida Constitution that says, there shall be no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting or penalizing the free exercise thereof. Religious freedom shall not justify practices inconsistent with public morals, peace, or safety. No revenue of the state or any political subdivision or agency thereof shall ever be taken from the public treasury, directly or indirectly, in aid of any church, sect, or religious denomination, or in aid of any sectarian institution. And I did that in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning. So see, I have dates and times just like President George Washington. See, he has his dates is 1789, then it's December 15, 1788, January 10th, 1789, February 4th, 1789. So, I mean, why my dates and times are not as historical as his dates and times if I have made history by myself? So now, because I made history alone, you gonna hide my history and make history over my history? So what's gonna happen when my history is finally seen? Then you gonna say, well, I ain't had nothing to do with that, like you saying with slavery now. But we didn't slave you. I'm saying, well, now you know you enslaved me. I'm in court with you, telling you and giving you your own amendments and everything. So now, okay, now this is the war that I am fighting. This is the spiritual war according to the King James Version. See, so now I am fighting King George's property. See, George Washington is biblical because he is the commander that brought down a king, and then he annexed his 13 colonies. He took them. See what I'm saying? But now they took my property by force, illegal force, and then I had to bring them to justice with a legal maneuver. See, so now we are now in Revelations 12, verses 7 through 12, that says, and there was a war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and now it's King Tommy Chancellor Castle Sr. fought and his angels, the Florida Constitution, the United States Constitution, the Florida Bill of Rights, the United States Bill of Rights, the United States Declaration of Independence, statutory law, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And now the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Ten Commandments. And we fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, and in Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church in Edenville, Florida, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida, and prevailed not in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, and prevailed not inside of the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, and prevailed not on September 11th in 2023 at 8:17 at night. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven, nor here on earth. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, as well as inside Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church on September 11th in 2023 at 8:18 at night. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ, in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning. For the accusers of our brethren is cast down, which accuses them before our God day and night in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida, after Satan, for whom is defined as the angel who in Jewish belief is commanded by God to tempt humans to sin in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world, and to accuse the sinners and to carry out God's punishment inside the courthouses all over the world. Courthouses, judgment halls, anywhere where punishment is rendered, palaces, anywhere where court or decisions are rendered, they are now rendering judgment under sanctions. See, so now, okay, so, and they overcome him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. So see, now, those of you who profess to believe in Jesus Christ must now come to save yourself. You must now come into the civil and criminal courthouses and defend yourself against my God with the Florida Constitution, the United States Constitution, the Florida Bill of Rights, the United States Bill of Rights, the United States Declaration of Independence, statutory law, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Ten Commandments, and the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran defending me ever since August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, and as well as on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, as well as September 11, 2023 at 8:21 at night. So, I mean, how can you even speak unless I speak to you? You can't even speak to me as if you know me without having to go to court and truly defend yourself against who I really am. See, out here you will be able to argue with me, but in there you will have to read my argument of who I am. See, and then you're going to have to rebuttal 15 years of evidence of me loving your children. So now you got to come in there and your wife, or you got to tell your husband, who probably need a job and everything, that your God gonna provide what you deny me the opportunity to provide for your children. When I could have went back and provided the life that I was already providing for my children, but because I know that I am my God, I could not share my God with those who needed a true God, because I had saw the God that they was given was only name only. It wasn't even the definition of what they gave of God. And I saw that my God fit that definition. So I gave that definition of God in my description of myself. So now you must come, and they overcame him. So see, you must now overcome me by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives unto death. See, y'all did. See, y'all love y'all way of life, and you're not even giving your grandchildren the same life you had. And even though you see the devil's taking what you use to then take care of your daughter, your son, and now you have grandchildren, and you see them taking that avenue away, and you will not invest in an avenue for your children to take care of your children, your grandchildren. See, but you would take the money as if your money gonna last for generations to come. See, the only thing that saves generations to come is the knowledge of how you became who you became. If it's about money, then unless they get the same job or the same opportunities you got, then they not gonna be able to do what you did. So that's why I never gave my children money. I always gave them guidance. I always taught them something. Because see, when you learn something, now you have something, can't nobody take away. But anyway, it's getting long here. So, okay, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. See, so that means I'm telling my wife, then I say, you see, now I told you it was time for us to rejoice, not mourn. Because I had made it. See, I had defeated myself because I had listened to my mother tell me how to restrain myself. See, because my father showed me how to fight for respect. But my mother showed me how to gain respect. See, that's a difference. See what I'm saying? See, when you fight for respect, you also gain fear. And that's what my grandmama was telling me, that if a person fear you, they'll kill you. See what I'm saying? So that's why I kept saying, hey man, don't fear me. Don't fear me, man. See, don't kill me, man, out of fear. Because you killing the truth. And if you fear the truth, then you embrace the lie. But see, so it says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth. See, that's you all. See, after August 12, 2008, I kept warning you that you wasting your life going the wrong way. But you kept speeding. You wouldn't turn around, and now it's a flag on the plate. Like this dude told me, they had me in the mental hospital in Tampa, Florida, right? And we were watching football, and this young dude was in there, and it was a flag, and he said, it's laundry on the field, right? So I'm like, laundry on the field? What? I said, man, what you talking about? He said, it's a flag on the plate. So that's why now I call the flag laundry, because it was funny, man. But anyway, that's just my little sense of humor. But anyway, so it says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, and that's you all, and of the sea. See what I'm saying? For the devil is come down unto you in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world, having great wrath, because he know he been defeated by one man in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, just like King George III knew that he was defeated by General George Washington and the American forces. See, that's why he had to give up. He knew. But see, would a liar ever give up on their lie? Because once they give up on the lie, then wouldn't the gig be up? Because once you tell the truth that a black man emancipated himself and his people, then now wouldn't you now look like King George III? And then wouldn't my dates and times establish me just like President George Washington's dates and times establish him? But okay, so because he knoweth that he has but a short time. See, so who know? I know my time is eternity now, because once I delivered myself and established my truth, then my truth is going to live as case law for eternity. So see, I don't have great wrath because I only have love for my wife and my children. And I shared that love with my children's friends, with my wife's family, and with my family. And now you all in the spiritual world is not reaping what I sowed. You are now sowing what the high priest Caiaphas sowed, and now I am reaping the persecution of Jesus for 15 years. See, Jesus only had to deal with it 6 hours before he was mercifully lifted up out of his misery when his life ended. But you have made me struggle for food and water while you went to church and worked for 15 years. So what is the example of your God if now the scriptures that you profess to read to show yourself approved is now convicting you as the murderers of truth, justice, and any way